Hi everyone, thanks for joining. So if you did the craft last week, you'll know that we made Play-Doh, and this week we're going to be doing something a little bit similar, but actually quite different. So today we're going to be making what I like to call a version of Silly Putty, and that's because this is not at all like Play-Doh. The texture of the putty that we're going to be making today is very, very, very soft, and it's just really nice texture wise. So that's what we're going to be making today. Again, it's very quite different from Play-Doh. It has a very different texture, and this type of putty only uses 2 ingredients. So all you're going to need in front of you is cornstarch, conditioner, any kind of conditioner that you use at home is fine, and some food coloring if you would like to give your putty some color. And this recipe is really, really easy. All you need is equal amounts of conditioner and cornstarch. And it's very, very easy to do. I'm going to you can kind of add more cornstarch if you need to, less cornstarch if you, more more conditioner if you need to. So it's really quite simple, and you just kind of keep mixing until you get the texture that you're happy with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some conditioner into my bowl here. And I'm just going to take a teaspoon here, and I'm just going to kind of measure out. Okay, so there is about 1 teaspoon. And there's about a 2nd teaspoon. Now, it's important to note that the more conditioner you put in is the amount of putty that you're going to have. So I'm going to put in a little bit more. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to mix in my food coloring, and for me, I'm going to choose red because it actually makes a really nice pink once it's mixed in. So I'm just going to do 1 drop of that. And I'm going to mix that in with my conditioner. Awesome, just like that. And now I'm going to add in roughly the same amount of cornstarch that I added in for conditioner. So about the same amount of cornstarch. So there's about 1 teaspoon. There's a 2nd teaspoon. And there's my 3rd. Now, like I said before, you might need to add a little bit more conditioner or a little bit more cornstarch. It just kind of depends on the texture that you want. And for me, for my first try, I had to add more cornstarch in order to get a texture that I was happy with. So for this batch here, I actually added more cornstarch than I did conditioner, so we'll see if that happens again here. So you're just going to keep mixing this together. So for me, I need more cornstarch in mine, so I'm going to add more. So again, I'm going to do maybe another teaspoon, and I'm going to mix it in and see what that gets me. Again, this is very, it's similar to Play-Doh, but the texture is completely different. It's very soft texture-wise. Okay, so I'm getting there. I'm getting close to the texture that I want, but I still want it to be more thick, so I'm going to add in more cornstarch. I'm just adding in another teaspoon. And I'm going to mix this in and see what happens. And yes, just a reminder, obviously the more conditioner you add, the more silly putty you are going to end up with. Okay, so this is getting to the texture that I want. When it starts to resemble crumbs like this almost, I'm actually just going to go in and use my hands. So I'm just going to take all of that off there. And I'm actually just going to go in and grab it here, get it all off my plate. And this is when you'll know if you've reached the texture that you want. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting close, but I'm still not quite there yet. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make a little hole in the center, or like a little dip, just like that. And I'm just going to put a tad bit of cornstarch right in there. And I'm actually going to mix this in with my hands now, over your bowl, of course. And this is when you'll start to notice that your texture is going to change and become actually very, very soft and not as crumbly. I'm just going to get everything out of my bowl here. This is actually the perfect texture now. Try and get as much off your hands as possible so you can put it into your putty. Just keep kind of kneading it with your hands. Perfect. Now, after you wash your hands, of course, you are going to be left with this very, very soft, putty-like texture. Yes, and there we are. That's exactly what we want. It's very, very soft texture-wise. And that's as simple as it is. And seriously, this texture is completely different from Play-Doh. It's really, really soft and putty-like. With this recipe, again, all you need is cornstarch and conditioner, and you need approximately equal amounts of each. And don't worry, it's not sticky, it's just the stuff that was left over on my hands from before. This, what we have here, is not at all sticky. It's very, very soft, and it would actually be great to kind of play with. And yeah, I look forward to seeing the creations that you make and all of the colors that you make. Maybe you could make a few small batches like we did and do multiple colors. I would really like to see what you make, and send me pictures when you do get a chance to make this. Again, it's very, very simple, and you shouldn't need to go out and buy anything. These are ingredients that you should have in your house already. So I really look forward to seeing what you make, and thank you for joining. Next week we will be making homemade birdseed hangers. Have a great week.